Welcome back to Turkish series stars. Today we're bringing you a revelation that has us genuinely breathless. If you've been tracking every twist and turn in Turkish showbiz, you know there are pairs whose names alone create a tidal wave of whispers. And the couple at the center of today's story is exactly that kind of force. The headline already tipped you off, didn't it? Akınözü and Ebru Şahin. The news nobody thought would land, and yet here we are. Shocking doesn't even begin to cover it, so take a deep breath and brace yourself, because what we're about to unpack flips the script on everything fans believed they knew. Before we dive into the heart of it, if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single one of our insiders, exclusives, and late-night bombshells. Your support keeps this community alive and ensures you're the first to know when truth peeks through the smoke. Now, to the story. Akınözü and Ebru Şahin. Two names that echo far beyond the sets where their myths were made. Two performers whose presence redefined romance on screen, and whose lives off-screen have been sifted through by fans and media with the same intensity as a season finale. We all know the hits, their surge to fame, their global fanbases, their unforgettable turns, especially the electricity that sparked between them and Turkish. We also know the quiet questions that trailed them afterward. Were they just colleagues with rare chemistry, or something more? For years, the voices never went silent, and yet neither Akın nor Ebru fed the furnace. Calm, discreet, poised. The mystery only grew. What's changed now isn't a simple leak or a half-baked rumor. According to multiple Turkish outlets that rarely miss, a revelation has surfaced with such insistence that even the skeptics have paused. It's a headline that carries weight beyond the gossipy thrill of love stories in the limelight, and it forces a second look at their private choices and professional horizons. For anyone new to their legacy, a quick reset. Akınözü, charismatic, intense, a lead who commands the frame and the imagination. His trajectory after Turkish opened doors to grander visions, global interviews, and a fiercely loyal base that watches his every move. Ebru Şahin, magnetic, graceful, agile in range. Her work in projects that followed cemented a presence that is both artistic and aspirational. Whether on screen as a fierce heroine or off-screen stepping into fashion and lifestyle conversations, she's remained compelling, enigmatic, and endlessly watched. It was that very on-screen bond from Turkish that sparked fan poetry back in the day, to say nothing of the endless edits, late-night threads, and whispered sightings that came and went like rain on hot pavement. The truth was always out of reach, and the two stars let the speculation swirl without lending it fuel. It was a dance, elegant, deliberate, controlled. But this, right here, is different. The word now traveling quickly, and apparently coming from sources that tend to be right when it matters, is that Akın and Ebru are not just seeing where life takes them, they may be standing at the edge of a life-altering chapter. The revelation that ignited the frenzy? Strong, consistent chatter that Ebru Şahin might be expecting and that Akınözü is preparing for fatherhood. Yes, a baby. A future measured not in episode counts or ratings but in heartbeat and promise. If true, it would mark a seismic shift for both, professionally, personally, and for the fandom that has watched them grow. The first hints arrived in small ripples. Quick mentions in entertainment segments, background murmurs from sets, and soft focus sightings that seemed innocent at first and then were suddenly scrutinized in forensic detail. Within days, those ripples turned into a current. Several outlets with a track record for accurate inside scoops published pieces suggesting the same conclusion, each implying the information came from contacts who genuinely know the couple's world. Friends in the circle, colleagues who noticed adjustments in schedules, crew members who observed careful accommodations, stylists and makeup artists whispering about gentler hours and subtle wardrobe choices. If they are indeed keeping this joy private, that decision would be consistent with how both have navigated attention for years. It's plausible they want to settle into the reality of it, to protect the sacred first stretch of this journey from becoming a circus. Maybe they're waiting for timing that feels right, for doctors' green lights, or for family approvals. Maybe they're planning a carefully crafted announcement where the message comes from them, that rare window when celebrity drops away and the human steps forward. A baby is not a press stunt, it's a threshold. What raises the stake and stokes the conversation is what comes next. How might this chapter reshape their work? Akın, with the momentum of new scripts, global fans eager to see him explore darker and deeper roles, and an image sharpened by discipline and dedication. Does a child change the center of gravity? Does it make him pickier with roles, more protective of hours, more present at home? And what about Ebru, the force who can carry a series on her shoulders, then slip into a brand campaign with equal ease? Would she choose projects paced to a gentler rhythm? Would she pause, then return with a role that reflects an evolution audiences are ready to embrace? These questions aren't criticisms. They're the sincere curiosity of a public that has invested in their arcs and now wonders how a love story, if this is what it is, might transform into a family story. The digital world has reacted like a thunderclap. Timelines crowded fast. Clips from Turkish resurfaced, edited with new captions, reinterpreted with hindsight. Some fans are glowing with happiness, calling it the fairy tale twist they always believed was written in the stars. Others are cautious, asking for restraint, reminding everyone that speculation can bruise. A portion is anxious about schedules, renewals, scripts in progress, because that's how invested audiences are today. One thing unites them all, an awareness that if this is real, it will become one of the signature moments of the year in Turkish entertainment. We reached out to representatives connected to both actors, and so far, the line remains steady. No confirmations, no denials, just the same serene quiet that has defined how Akın and Ebru move through storms. Yet the drumbeat persists, and the outlets publishing the reports are not known for gaming the public for clicks when it comes to matters this sensitive. That drumbeat does not guarantee truth, but it's more than static. It suggests that something is unfolding. Perhaps a decision still being shaped, perhaps a happiness protected behind closed doors. It's worth remembering that both have navigated massive public pressure before. They've steered through expectations built by an iconic pairing without letting that fandom dictate their future choices. That same calm may be exactly what's guiding them now. Private happiness has to be safeguarded if it's to survive the spotlight. If they are indeed expecting, the first instinct might be to keep the circle small, to hold on to normal mornings and quiet evenings for as long as they can. Meanwhile, talk of the professional dominoes continues. Insiders speculate about schedule changes, potential reshoots, or even graceful exits from certain commitments if needed. But there's also the possibility that nothing dramatic happens. That modern productions, with their increasingly flexible architecture, can adapt around the human realities of their stars. Body doubles, rewrites, split schedules, tighter shooting windows. There are many ways to honor both art and life. And perhaps that's the deeper note ringing through all this. The illusion is that stars exist in a realm where life pauses for contracts. The truth is that life has its own stubborn timeline. When love deepens, when a family forms, the industry learns to bend. The audience, more attuned than ever, tends to celebrate that bending when it's done with care and sincerity. If you step back and consider how we arrived here, it's remarkable. We watched a fictional love story burn bright. We watched two careers surge. We watched the fan theories spin and spin, fueled by glances and interviews where nothing was said yet everything seemed possible. And now, if the whispers are real, we're nearing a chapter that belongs not to a character or a series, but to Akın and Ebru themselves. Not a plotline crafted by writers, but a life story that will evolve in real time, answer to no ratings, and be measured in tiny milestones that never trend for long yet change everything anyway. Of course, there's a chance that all of this remains unconfirmed for a while. If that happens, the compassionate response is patience. If we've learned anything watching these two, it's that they reveal what matters when it matters. Maybe they'll choose a simple photograph, a handwritten caption, a quiet moment where the message carries no fanfare, just truth. maybe they'll wait until a project wraps. Maybe there will be a close friends celebration before the world is invited in. There are countless ways to tell a personal story, and they have earned the right to choose theirs. Whatever unfolds, it won't erase the work that brought them here. Akın's intensity, his steady discipline, his almost old-school aura that's rare in the age of instant fame. Ebru's fearless artistry, her ability to summon vulnerability and strength in the same breath, and her comfort moving between the craft and the culture that surrounds it. These are qualities that do not evaporate when a family begins. They deepen. They find new colors. We'll keep our radar tuned, our sources on call, and our eyes on the places where truth tends to reveal itself. Maybe it's an interview answered with a smile that lingers a beat too long. Maybe it's a project announcement that shifts in tone. Maybe it's nothing at all until the day they decide to welcome us into their happiness. Until then, remember what's at stake in conversations like this. Curiosity is natural. Joy is understandable. But kindness is vital. Celebrating from a respectful distance honors the very qualities that made you care in the first place. If a baby is on the way, that journey deserves air and quiet and love. If not, then the dignity of two artists choosing their path is still worth our applause. To summarize the heartbeat of tonight's story, the strongest rumor circling the Turkish entertainment sphere is that Ebru Şahin may be pregnant and that Akınözü could soon be a father. The implication is not only romantic, but life-defining. The outlets reporting this are known for care when it counts. The sources, we're told, are not strangers to the pair. And while no official word has cut through the noise itself has a rhythm that feels different this time, measured, confident, close to the chest. If confirmation arrives, it will rewrite the immediate expectations for both stars. Not erase them, rewrite them. Roles can wait, scripts can be revised, premieres can be delayed. What cannot be duplicated is the first chapter of a family, and fans who love them will understand that. We will be here for every step that is meant to be seen. The second we have even a whisper of certainty, you'll hear it here first. That's our promise, and it's a promise built not on frenzy, but on respect. Thank you for staying with us through this breathless ride. Tell us what you feel in your heart. Does this surprise you? Does it thrill you? Do you think it will change the way they choose their next roles? Drop your thoughts below. We read them all, and your voice shapes this space every day. If this story resonated with you, give the video a like and share it with the friends who never stopped believing in the spark between Akın and Ebru. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because whatever tomorrow brings, you'll want to hear it from Turkish series stars. We'll see you in the next one. New rumors, new truths, and the same promise, to bring you closer to the people whose work has become part of your story. Until then, breathe, hope, and hold space for the possibility that love, quiet, private, unposed, has been growing just out of frame.